Good morning. Welcome to the ABCs of Communicating. I hope everyone is doing well this morning. My name is Ruth Finney, and we are going to be talking about kindness this morning. Every morning, well, not every morning, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I come on here at 5 a.m. and we talk about the ABCs of communicating. I just pick we go through the letters of the alphabet, and I pick a topic of communication that can be challenging for us when it comes to our relationships. So this morning, we are talking about kindness. Good morning, Mama Joan. How are you doing? Good to see you. Oh, I forgot to turn my phone on. How are you doing this morning? Welcome in. I know my comments are coming in a little bit later, so let me get on here. All right, here we go. How are you doing this morning? Good morning, Shanita Marie Randomly. How are you? Good seeing you this morning. Good seeing you. In Cleveland with my daughter celebrating my birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Good. I hope you all are having a wonderful weekend. How are you this morning, Shanita? Good to see you. Good to see you. I'm happy you're here. So this morning, we are talking about kindness. So kindness is one of those things that we tend to give more freely to strangers or people outside of our family than we do ourselves or to other people, right? We can easily be kind to customers, clients, patients, people we run into randomly in the store. We can go, and then sometimes we'll even go out of our way, right, to be kind to people who we deem as heroes, like people who are healthcare workers right now, maybe police people or military people. Officers, clergy, different people who we have respect for. We go out of our way to be kind to people. And sometimes we'll even go out of our way to be more kind to animals than we do ourselves or to other people, right? Good morning, Chef. How are you doing? Good morning to you. Welcome in. Welcome in. I'm happy to see you here. We are talking about kindness this morning. Kindness, how to be kind, more kind. So, like I said, we have sometimes a much easier time being kind to strangers than we do ourselves. We say nicer things to other people than we do ourselves. Good. I'm so happy you're here. Fantastic. All right, so kindness is a choice, right? My mom, my aunt, people in my family, my mom, I'll give credit to my mom. She used to always say, people don't have to be kind. People do not have to be nice to you. So kindness is a choice that we make each and every day. So what reasons, right? Why do we choose to be kind? We choose to be kind because we want to make people feel welcome a lot of times. We want people to like us. We want to be involved in people's lives. Maybe they're doing different things that we really like, and we want them to keep doing those things. So we be kind to them. We want to show appreciation. And we want to be perceived in a particular way, sometimes because we want them to keep doing the things that they're doing. Right. We want to be in a relationship with them. We want to make connections with them or the people who they know or different things such as that. So we be kind. We show kindness to people. Maybe we want to give sometimes what we didn't receive. So like if you grew up in a house where it wasn't necessarily a kind, loving environment, then we try to have what we didn't receive. So that's one of the reasons that we that we show kindness. But another thing for those of us who are believers is that God tells us to be kind. He tells us to be kind. He tells us over and over again to do unto others as we would have them do unto us, right? And to not grow weary in well doing. So he tells us to not just do it one time because we feel like it or because it's beneficial for us, but to do it always, to be kind always. He says to clothe ourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. So this is not something that we should just, do on occasion, but it's something that we should do always, that we should be in this state, in this mind state all the time, right? And he's given us examples all throughout the Bible of where he's shown kindness and where he was kind to people. But with all that being said, why do we have such a hard time being kind to people sometimes, right? Sometimes it's not easy for us to show kindness, especially when we're having to deal with someone who's very difficult or giving us a hard time. Yes, kindness and humility is a badge of honor. Absolutely. And that was literally my next statement, that we use kindness as a badge, like it's something that has to be earned. It's not always something that we just give to people, right? We're like, if you want me to be nice to you, then you need to show me why I should be nice to you. And that's how we use kindness, as though it's something that has to be earned. We'll hold back our kindness for multiple reasons, right? Sometimes we feel like the people just don't deserve it. If someone's being rude or ugly to us, or we just don't like something about who they are, what they're doing, then we refuse to show them kindness, right? We don't want to be seen as weak. We don't want to be perceived as a pushover, or that people can just run over us and do whatever they want to do. So we hold back our kindness. So that people don't try to take advantage of us. Good morning, Bio 11. How you doing this morning? Good to see you. Good seeing you. Glad you are here. This morning we are talking about kindness, and why we choose to be kind. Yes, and it can be a very challenge to do so. And this morning we're going to talk about a couple of characters that can be very difficult to be kind to, and what we can say to them to show some kindness. So we don't want to be perceived as being a pushover, right? We don't want to be weak. We don't want to be thinking that people to take advantage of us. So we have to work to sometimes. So we hold our kindness back. We don't want people to know. So let's look at some challenging characters. And the first one I want to talk about this morning is the smart mouth, right? That smart mouth person who always has a response, always has something to say, right? They have a response for every single thing that we say. Good morning, Burns. How you doing? Good to see you. Good seeing you. Oh, I've been drinking my apple cider vinegar. Lord have mercy. Every single time I drink that stuff, my salivary glands feels like they're being squeezed. But I'm on it. I'm drinking my apple cider vinegar and trying to get on board with this. So I just want you to know. I'm getting it in. I'm getting it in. Every time I drink it, I'm like, okay, here we go. All right. So we're talking about kindness this morning. And we're going to talk about a couple of people that can be challenging to be kind to. And the first person that we're talking about is that smart mouth person. Like I say, they have something to say. They have a response for everything that you do. They have a comeback, and it can get on your nerves, right? It can drive us crazy. Like, enough already, enough, right? So why do people do that? Why do people feel like they constantly have to, be saying something to us or have a response for everything that we say? One of the reasons is that they feel like they're not being heard, right? They feel like nothing they say is really being taken into consideration, or that nothing is going to change, or like it doesn't matter. Like we don't respect what they have to say. We're not really taking into account what they have to say. And so they continue to repeat the things that they think that we don't hear. right? So they just keep saying it over and over and over again and telling us what it is they want us to know. So how do we deal with that? What do we do about that? Right? So one of the things that we can do is we can say to them, I see that you are very passionate or you have a lot to say about this. And tell me, what is it that I'm not understanding that you feel the need to keep repeating what you're saying? What do you feel that I'm not understanding? Okay. And give them the opportunity to say what it is, that they want us to know. And then turn around and ask them, if you had your way in this situation, what would you do about it? How would you like to see it handled? What would you do differently? And find out. Give them opportunity to let us know what it is that they would do differently, because that gives them the opportunity to know that, number one, we're listening. Okay, you have my full attention now. You're not just speaking to me and what you're saying is falling on deaf ears. I'm taking in what you're saying. From there, then we want to say, think about what it is that we can do, that we possibly may be able to incorporate, right? Okay, I see you. Okay, I see how I see how you think that might be a good idea, or something that we can do. And so let's think about how we can incorporate possibly some of the things that they're suggesting. But here's the key: if possible, we want to see. The key is to try to get them involved as well. Okay, the key is to try to get them involved. So I'm willing to do this, from what you're saying, and let me know, would you be willing to help in doing this? What might you be willing to do to help me in this situation? So that way it gets them involved, and it's not just a person watching you and seeing how you're going to solve the problem or take care of the issue. When we get them involved in the situation, if possible, if they're willing, then that gives them the opportunity to see this may not be as easy as you think, right? This may not be as smooth or go as smoothly as you think it might go in your head, because things always go better in our minds than they actually do in reality. So depending on what the situation is, if they're willing to get involved, if they're willing to take some accountability into the situation, then try to get them involved. Okay. So that way, but this gives them the opportunity of knowing that they're being heard, that we're listening, that we're taking what they're saying into consideration, and we're possibly willing to put some of those things into action. Okay. And then once we find a compromise, right, something that we can agree on, start consistently putting in the effort. Don't just let it be a one-time thing that we try to do. It's like, yeah, I did that and it didn't work. So what's next, right? Try to consistently put in the effort to, make the suggestions, to do what you all talked about, to do what you agreed upon, and go from there. And then to show kindness and appreciation for what they're doing, for the efforts that they're making. Like, hey, I appreciate your effort, and I appreciate even your opinion. I may not like the opinion, but I appreciate your opinion. I appreciate you giving me your opinion and telling me how you feel about this, or giving me your insight on it, right? Because the more we show appreciation for things, the more people will continue to, do the things or get involved or help in ways that they think that they can help. So the more we show gratitude, the more people are willing to do for us. So don't discount what it is they're willing to do for us. So then there's the negative mouth, right? This is the person who never has anything kind to say. The glass is half empty type of person. I'm a glass half full type of person. So these negative mouth people tend to really, stir up my emotions, let's say. They complain about everything going on around them. They feel the need to critique everything that we do. They judge everything as if they could have done it better. And sometimes they may not even have the skills or possess the skills to even do the thing, but yet they have something to say about how we're doing it, right? So this is the smart mouth person. How do we be kind to that person that's always telling us that this is not going to work. This is a waste of time. I don't even know why you're attempting to do this. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think you're going to change? What do you think you're going to be able to do? So and so they almost in a way that they're discouraging us from even attempting to do anything. And so that can be very difficult to deal with. So here's something that I typically respond with. I realize that you don't believe that this is possible, or that this is a waste of time, or that it's not worth it, or, we're being taken advantage of, or this, that, and the other, right? Whatever it is that they're feeling. And I respect your opinion. I respect, and I may even understand why you feel that way. I may even agree with you. I may even agree that you might be right. However, I'm looking at this from a different perspective. Okay. I'm called to look at this from a different perspective. Sometimes it's not even just by choice. We have to do what God's will says about it. It may not even always be what we want to do, but it's what God tells us that we should do. And so we have to look at it from a different perspective. So sometimes it's by choice, and other times it's by command, I guess you could say. So I have to look at it from a different perspective. I don't see it the same as you. And so I'm choosing to make a different decision about it. Maybe it's something they think that is not worth it, something they think that is not even possible or doable, or a waste of time. It can be a million different things, a goal that we're trying to reach, a person that we're trying to pour into their lives, all kinds of stuff. And so we have to be let them know that, hey, I have to look at this from a different perspective. So I'm respecting your opinion and the way you feel about it. And I'm asking you to respect that I'm making a different decision, that I'm making a different choice, that I'm choosing to see this from a different perspective. And I'm going to make decisions based on how I'm seeing it. And that's all I ask, is that you respect what I'm choosing to do. I'll deal with the outcome. I'll accept whatever the fallout is, or whatever the situation is, but I have to do this, or I feel the need to do this, or this is what I want to do. And feel how you feel about it. I respect how you feel about it. I understand why you feel that way about it, but this is what I'm choosing to do based on my choices and my decision. And I'm just asking that you respect that. Okay. Once they understand that you realize that there could be a potential different outcome than what you hope it to be, most of the times they'll be quiet about it. It's like, okay, well then, you're choosing. Sometimes they'll even wish that things come out negatively just so they can give you the, okay, right? And that's all right. That's okay. You go ahead and do. They may not like it. They may not agree with it. They may even hope, like I say, for a negative outcome so that we can be proven wrong. But it's okay. Don't allow them to pull us into that negative way of thinking, that negative thought. We have to accept people for who we are, for who they are. Okay. One of the ways that we get in trouble is when we try to change people, right? We get into this combative state when we're trying to pull people into our way of thinking, or into our thought, or into seeing it how we see it, or they're trying to pull us into how they see it. And we get caught up in that back and forth, trying to, pull each other to each other's side. Stop trying to do that. Some people enjoy being in a negative state. They feed off of it, And if that is not, hello, Juvie TV. How are you? Good to see you. We're talking about kindness this morning and how to be kind to difficult people. Yes, and spitefulness. Spiteful, yes. Some people they will even work to be spiteful. And that can be difficult. But when we see a person who is being spiteful, let them know that we see that. Call them out on it. Like, I see you. I see what you're trying to do. I see how you're trying to turn the situation around. I see how you're trying to, make this into a different situation than what it actually is. Call them out on it. And then a lot of times they'll pull back, or they'll stop, and they'll be like, okay, most of the time. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the compliment. Thank you so much, Juvie. I hope you're having a good day this morning. So we have to accept people for who they are, accept that they may not see it the way we see it. That, Hong Kong. Ooh, that's a long, a long way from Texas. A long way from Texas. Welcome in. Welcome in. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. What time is it there in Hong Kong? Let me know. So we can't get caught up being pulled into their negativity, and we have to try to stick to, where we are. It takes strength to be kind. That is one of the things that is a misconception about being kind. That when we're nice to people, that we're being perceived as weak. When in actuality, it's the complete opposite most of the time. It takes effort. It takes work. It takes us putting down our pride. It takes us being humble. It takes us being, in a constant state of having to work to put forth effort to be kindness. And people don't realize the strength that takes to be kind, especially when someone is coming at us in a rude or negative way with negative intentions or ill purposed, intentions. So we have to work to be kind. And there's nothing about that is weak. Nothing about that is weak. So to show kindness, the ability to be kind can change a whole person's perspective. It can change their attitude. It can change their character, the way we treat them. I can't tell you how many times I've been in a situation where someone is being negative or rude to me or saying something out of the way. And I'll just give you a quick example here. Let's see. There are a couple of folks at my job that I have to force myself to be kind to. What I do now is speak and keep moving. I'm a work in progress towards them. Yes, that's so true. I work with all kinds of characters in a very kind of close-knit setting. So I definitely understand how difficult it can be to be kind to people who constantly have that sort of negative, condescending type of tongue, right? They always have something, they speak in a negative tone. But our kindness can be just as powerful as their negativity. And we can shift the atmosphere of a negative, toxic workspace through our kindness. Believe it or not, we can shift the negative, toxic environment. Like you said, continuing to be kind, continuing to not go down that road with them. Like they always say, they go low, we go high. So, and if we continue to stay in this space, eventually they will dissipate or they will rise up. They will come up to where we are, or they will just, because if we don't acknowledge it, a lot of times just not even acknowledging the negativity that they say, right? Because what happens is that they keep doing it the more that we say something about it. As soon as we say something about it, or as soon as we give them the opportunity to, or the gratification that they're bothering us, they continue to go down that road. So if we ignore it, or if we do the exact opposite of it, then it kind of takes people back a little bit, like, oh, they're not responding to my negativity. They're not. And then they'll keep doing it for a while just to see. And if we can continue to ignore it, or continue to move on, or change the attitude, or change the conversation, eventually they will stop. They will stop. But the more we feed into it, the more we, show that we feel a certain kind of way about what they're saying, the more they will continue to tap on that nerve and agitate you. This can happen in personal and work settings. Absolutely. And it does. It does. I remember just teaching in a class training one day, and I had a group of adult students who came in, and every morning before I was teaching, I would say, hey, can you everyone turn your cell phones off? I give the little rules of the class and this and that. And lo and behold, this gentleman comes in and his phone rings in the middle of the class. And I have like 40 people in the class, and his phone rings, and he's sitting at the front of my class talking on the phone very loudly in the midst of my teaching. Now, after I've already given the rules to turn your phones off, or if you need to take the conversation, to take it outside, right? People have emergencies. I'm not against that. So I ask him, I stop in the middle of my teaching. I say, hey, Can you take your conversation outside? This is an important phone call. Da, 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 I have to take this. And listen, I said, sir, I'm not asking you, I'm not telling you that your phone call is not important. I'm only asking that you take it outside so that you don't disturb the rest of the class from receiving the information that they are here to receive. And he stomps out of the room and gets mad and pissed and upset and blah, 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 and the whole class was kind of taken back, but I kept a level tone. I kept a respectful voice. I, let him know that I didn't think that his call was not important, right? I don't feel that your call may not. It doesn't matter what I feel about the call. All that matters is that I've asked people to step out if they feel the need that they have to take a phone call. So he did, and he came back. We went through the class. He stomped out, took his phone call, came back in. We continued the class. I never treated him any different the whole rest of the class. I didn't roll my eyes at him, didn't, smirk my lips at him or anything. And when class was over, he came up to me as humble, as he possibly could, and said, I'm sorry for how I responded. I apologize for, interrupting your class the way I did. I said, it's okay. It's okay. I know that things happen. And I know that, we get caught up in what we feel is things that are important. And I didn't want you to think that I didn't think that what you were dealing with wasn't important, but I didn't want it to disturb the rest of the class. And we, exchanged pleasantries and went on about our day. But so it takes strength. Now I could have easily been like, get your behind out of my class, right? What are you doing? Who do you think you are? I don't care who is on that phone, right? I could have easily went that way with the phone call, but I didn't. I said, okay, help me stay cool and calm. And then, we dealt with it. I let him know that I don't think that he's not important or that his phone call is not important. We just need to be respectful of everyone in the class. All right. So that's just a simple thing that we can do, just those little things, keeping ourselves calm, keeping ourselves level-headed, keeping our tone in check so that we don't, it doesn't fluctuate. Yes, choose your battles. Absolutely. We have to choose our battles. It's not even worth me it wasn't even worth me snapping at him, because had I done that, now the rest of the class would have perceived me one kind of way or another kind of way, right? And they already have preconceived notions about, Black women sometimes. And so I wasn't going to go there. I wasn't going to give him the gratification of going back and snapping at him and doing what he. And so when I chose to go high, he completely changed his entire outcome, his entire perspective of the situation. So like I said, people may not like it. People may not agree with how we choose to do things, but we have to do, number one, what God is calling us to do. And like I say, that's to be kind always. And so, and then the other thing that I like to say is that we can be, people may not feel the same. But we can let them know, I appreciate you being willing to share with me. I appreciate that you care enough to give me your opinion on this matter, or that you feel something in you, that you care about this situation, that you care about me enough to feel that the need to say something. Because sometimes we look at it wrong. We looked at people meddling into a situation as them trying to intentionally cause us pain or discomfort or irritation about it. And sometimes it's just the opposite. It's because they care about us so much that they have an opinion, that they have a thought about what it is that we're doing, or what it is that we're getting involved in, or how things are affecting us. So sometimes we have to change our perspective of how we see it, how people are when people choose to talk or say something in front of us. Sometimes it's actually because they care. They just don't express it in a way that we like to receive it. Okay. So that's pretty much, all I had to say this morning about kindness. And let people know, I know that we don't see this the same, but know that I still love you. I still care about you. I still want you in my life. I still want to work through this situation. I still enjoy working with you, whatever it is. Let people know like that this connection we have matters to me, even though we may not be seeing this issue the same. So, and these are ways that we can incorporate kindness into the conversation. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and pray us out this morning. It's 30 minutes here. I try to be on here for about 30 minutes. And I will be back tomorrow for tomorrow night's live session at 8:30 tomorrow night. So for those of you who are available, we will be having an interesting discussion, I think. I think it'll be hopefully an interesting, good discussion. All right. So any prayer requests? Any prayer requests? I'm going to pray for Mama Joan and her birthday. See, for those of you who don't know, please tell Mama Joan happy birthday today. Praying God's blessings upon you always, and that you have many more years of happiness and health and wealth and prosperity, all the things that make you happy, Mama Joan. Okay. All right. Father, we come thanking you this day, thanking you for who you are, thanking you for the love and blessings that you bestow upon us each and every day, as undeserving as we are. Father, you show us kindness every day when we don't deserve it. You show us mercy every day when we don't deserve it. Help us to clothe ourselves with the humility, with patience. Help us to realize that it's not weak. It's not wrong. It's not a bad thing to be kind to people, but that we're actually showing strength when we are showing kindness to others. Father, when people come at us that in ways that we have a difficult time trying to see things different, remove what we're seeing and show us you inside of them. We don't know what's going on with people. We don't know why they're, reacting the way that they react, behave the way that they behave, saying the things that they're saying to try to get under their skin, to get under our skin. But Father, help us to show them you. Take over our bodies, take over our minds, take over our mouths sometimes, Lord, when we want to say the things that we know will not be beneficial to the situation. So help us to say things that will turn the situation around. Help us to be the light in the midst of a dark spirit. Help us to change their thought process. They change how they see us, change how they see the world, how they see the situation. Lord, we are called to be light. We are called to be the peacemakers. So Lord, help us walk in that space. Father, I just ask for a prayer for Mama Joan this morning. You're blessing her to see another year of life that was not promised to us. So Lord, bless her life, bless her spirit, her mind, and her body. Help her to continue to be vital and viable in this life. Give her the strength and everything that she needs to continue to be a light in this world. Father, we never get too old to make a difference. We never get too old to be light, to let our light shine in the world. So Father, touch her and bless her, and let each year that she go by, that she gets stronger, that she gets better, that she gets more willing to walk and live in your will. Father, remind us that we all have purpose in this earth, and help us to not lose sight of that purpose. Father, I just ask for blessings upon each and every person in the chat, those watching behind the scenes, for those who will be catching this replay. Help us to show kindness to one another in love, and to not get weary in well-doing. We love you. We thank you. We ask these things in your son, Jesus' name. Amen. All right, everyone. You all have a beautiful Kay Renee. Happy birthday, Kay Renee. Not birthday, anniversary. I saw it was your anniversary yesterday, I believe, right? It was your anniversary. Happy anniversary. Congratulations to you. Every year of marriage is a blessing that you can stay together, because it is no walk in the park, my friend. No walk in the park. So congratulations to you. All right. So I will see you all tomorrow night, hopefully. And if not, we'll be back here Monday morning for the letter J. For the letter J. And I think J is judgment, but don't hold me. Don't hold me on that. No, we did with J. No, L. I'm sorry. I'm forgetting my letters. Okay, we're doing L. And I don't remember what the L is. So, all right. So I will see you all tomorrow, if not Monday. Go forth, be the light. Blessings and love to you all. I love each and every one of you, and thank you for being here. All right. Have a beautiful day.